guys, we are back. Sorry about the delay. And back with another song by Eminem. Which one are we doing today?
Today we're doing Darkness.
This one with the sample of oh my god, why can't I remember the title of the song? I love that song. What's it called again?
Simon and Garfunkel's
Well,
Hello Darkness, my old friend.
yes.
Sound
I
of
prefer
Silence.
Disturbed. Yes.
Yeah. Yes, that is it. So you know this.
Yeah, it's about the Texas shooter.
Is it Texas? Vegas?
No, Vegas shooter.
Yeah.
Why do I think Texas?
I don't know.
Was it a country?
Yeah,
That's why.
it was.
I associate country music with Texas.
Yeah. So you know this. So this is actually interesting. So most people probably want to see people's reaction to figuring out what the song's about, right?
Mm-hmm.
But since we both know this, it's going to be
Yeah.
interesting because when you're the first time you're hearing this, you're missing all the bars in the first half that are double entendres because you don't realize what it is. So we're going to be able to dissect it knowing that. You know what I mean?
Wait, what do you mean?
You don't remember how the song goes?
I know it's about the shooting.
Yeah, you don't find that out till like the end.
Oh, okay. Then what? Well, I don't remember what it makes you think it's about.
Eminem getting ready for a show.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I haven't heard it in a while.
Yeah. So this was released alongside with the album. This is a surprise album, Music to Be Murdered By, the one we're going through now. So I actually heard this song before I knew the album was out.
People had a problem with this song, right?
A little bit,
Yeah.
but I feel like he does a thing in the third verse that kind of makes up for it. Whatever. We'll dissect it. So
Okay.
long interlude, but yes, we both know this, so we're gonna do what we always do. We'll listen, we'll break it down, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Oh, and this video is sponsored by Carnivore Snacks. Carnivore Snacks is one of my favorite meat snacks ever, and this is their ribeye, one of their best flavors, and also I definitely recommend all of the sliders. Those are the best as well. And it is minimal ingredients. This is grass-fed beef ribeye and Redmond real salt. You can't get any simpler than that. It's absolutely delicious. They're all like eating meat potato chips. Sorry. And they're amazing and I love them. And if you haven't tried it before, you definitely should. And you can use our coupon code WithSmith for 15% off your order. And the link is in the description below. We're also sponsored by Chomps, which is one of my other favorite meat snacks and my favorite beef jerky ever. They're also minimal ingredients and only ingredients that you are familiar with, minimal calories, absolutely delicious, super soft and moist. And if you haven't tried them, I also highly recommend trying them. And you can use our coupon code WithSmith for 10% off your order and an additional 10% off subscriptions. And the link is in the description below for that as well. We are also sponsored by SeatGeek, which is a great website to get tickets for concerts, sporting events, comedians, literally anything. They have it. Here are some of the categories of tickets they have, but like they literally have everything. And you can use our coupon code for $20 off your first purchase with Smith. And the link is in the description below for that as well. Check out our Amazon storefront if you want to. Like and subscribe. Follow us on social media channels if you want to. And that's it.
Yes. Well, so we're going in order. This is track number 8 off of Music to Be Murdered By.
Mm-hmm.
And here we go.
I don't wanna be alone. I don't wanna be alone in the darkness. I don't wanna be alone in the darkness. I don't wanna be alone in the darkness anymore.
Here I am alone again. Can't get out of this hole I'm in. It's like the walls are closing in. You can't help me, no one can. I can feel these curtains closing. I go to open them, but something pulls them closed again.
Darkness,
Feels like I'm loathing in Las Vegas. Haven't got the Vegas, why I'm so lost. But I'd make you this small wager. If I bet you I'll be in tomorrow's paper, who would the odds favor? I'm so much like my father. You would think that I knew him. I keep pacing this room, Valium, then chase it with booze. One little taste it'll do. Maybe I'll take it and snooze, then tear up the stage in a few.
darkness,
Cold 45, I'ma need something stronger. If I pop any caps, it better be off of vodka. Round after round after round, I'm getting loaded. That's a lot of shots, huh?
I don't wanna be alone in the darkness. I don't wanna be alone in the darkness. I don't wanna be alone in the darkness anymore.
Now I'm staring.
Okay. I never knew that he literally said double entendre.
I can't.
So it's interesting because he's foreshadowing there because at this point in the song you think it's about him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but not really because he's talking about Vegas, he's talking about shots, talking about rounds, and you kind of like, use your brain,
No,
think
but
about it.
no one knows at this point. No one knew.
I feel like maybe people knew.
No way. So
No.
anyway, he starts off. It comes in with the sample from Simon and Garfunkel's "Sound of Silence."
Yeah.
And I don't want to be alone. I don't want to be alone in the darkness. I don't want to be alone in the darkness. And then Hello Darkness, My Old Friend, which is Simon and Garfunkel.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So then he comes in, first verse. Here I am, alone again. Can't get out of this hole I'm in. It's like the walls are closing in. You can't help me, no one can. So again, this sounds like Eminem. This is like a familiar type of thing we'd hear from Eminem. You know what I mean? Talking about his mind state.
Feeling like he's trapped, like with himself,
But
technically.
yes, as we go on to find out, which you wouldn't know this necessarily at this point in the song, but he's Stephen Paddock, the shooter in Vegas. I can feel these curtains closing. I go to open them, but something pulls them closed again. Hello, darkness, my old friend. So this is cool imagery. So the curtains, you imagine he's getting ready for his show, right? He's backstage. The curtains are closing, he goes to open them, but it's also the shooter. Obviously, he was literally in his hotel room when he fired. So the curtains of the hotel room. And then so I go to open them, but something pulls them closed again. So it's
Like
this
maybe he was like, should I do it? Shouldn't I
hesitancy.
do it?
Yes.
Or he was just peeking.
So you think it's either Eminem's hesitancy, right, scared to perform, or the shooter's hesitancy to go through with it. All right. Then he says, feels like I'm loathing in Las Vegas.
Like fear and loathing.
In Las Vegas, yeah, like the book, the movie. And then obviously just literally loathing in Las Vegas. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like hating, like wanting to kill people.
Yes, and then haven't got the Vegas, why I'm so lost, but I make you the small wager. So Las Vegas, cool little thing. And then
And wager.
so he does a lot of so that's what I was about to say. He does a lot of gambling things here. So he does Las Vegas, right? And then so lost, so you could lose in Vegas. I'll make you the small wager, right? That's another one. I'll bet you I'll be in tomorrow's paper. Who would the odds favor? So then bet odds, favor. And then I'll bet you I'll be in tomorrow's paper. Obviously, he's going to be famous for,
Yeah,
what he
for the
does
shooting.
and who would the odds favor. So like, yeah, he's going to be the one that's in the paper. I'm so much like my father, you would think I knew him. I keep pacing this room, Valium, then chase it with booze. One little taste, it'll do. Maybe I'll hit it and snooze, then tear up the stage in a few. So, again, this just sounds like it's Eminem, which it is, but so it's weird. So he's talking
Yeah,
about.
but then he says like tear up the stage like with bullets.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't remember if they knew that the shooter was drunk. I feel like maybe I remember something about like a bunch of alcohol there. I don't know though.
I don't remember.
So, but yeah, he's talking about Valium and alcohol. So again, it's like, oh, this is Eminem, one little taste, right? And then, like you pointed out, I'll tear up the stage in a few. So tear it up as performing a concert, but tearing it up as shooting. Okay. Fuck the Colt 45. I'm gonna need something stronger. If I pop any caps, it better be off of vodka. Round after round after round. I'm getting loaded. That's a lot of shots, huh? Okay, hello. Double
So
entendre,
it's a
double hello.
whole gun scheme because you got Colt.
And alcohol.
Yeah.
Colt
Colt 45 is like malt liquor.
and a gun.
Yeah, and a gun. And then popping cap is a gun.
Yeah, shooting.
Round after round, gun, loaded, gun, shots, gun.
And then yes, the vodka. So literally every single line is both alcohol, and gun
And
references.
then he has to say
Double entendre.
double entendre because we're all just not smart enough to get it.
Well, so I didn't hear, and that's so funny. I never heard that. But again, you wouldn't. So you would be like, oh, he's doing a bar scheme like he normally does, like shots of alcohol and gunshots, but not realizing that this is actually pertaining to a specific story. So that's why it's like, oh, okay. Yeah. And then it just goes to the chorus, and I don't want to be alone in the darkness. I don't want to be alone. Hello, darkness, my old friend. All right, we'll pick it up here.
I don't wanna be alone in the darkness anymore.
Now I'm staring at the room service menu off a benzo. I can hear the music continue to crescendo. I can see the whole fucking venue from my window. That's when you know you're schizo. Cause I keep peeking out the curtain from the hotel. The music is so loud, but it's almost as though I don't hear no sound. I should get ready for the show now. Wait, is this the whole crowd? I thought the shit was sold out. But it's only the opening act. It's early, don't overreact. There's something told me relax and just hope for the show to be packed. To wanna hit the stage before they fill each row to the max, cause that'd be totally whacked. You can't murder a show nobody's at. But what if nobody shows? Panic mode, about to snap and go motherfucking wacko at any second. About to cancel the show just as fans below rush the entrance. Plan is to go direct shit, cameras in all directions. The press is about to go ape shit, bananas on all the networks. Commando with extra clips, I got ammo for all the hecklers. I'm on to the teeth. Another volume fall off the bed, hit the ground and crawl to the dresser. Alcohol on my breath as I reach for the scope. I'm blacking out, I'm all out of meds with them benzodiazepines. Gone now, it's just magazines sprawled out on the floor. Fuck the media, I'm going all out, this is war.
Darkness, my friend. I don't wanna be alone in the darkness.
Yeah.
I don't wanna be alone in the darkness. I don't wanna be alone in the darkness anymore.
People start the show.
Okay. This is our last pause. We'll let the rest of the song play out. We'll break down the second verse here. Because this is actually the last part before you have the whole story. Okay, so second verse, he says, now I'm staring at the room service menu off of Benzo. I could hear the music continue to crescendo. I could see the whole fucking venue from my window. That's when you know you're schizo. So
he's hearing the music of. So it's his music for his show, but then the music from the country concert, and then it's seeing the venue from his window, works both ways. And then you're schizo, like a schizophrenic.
yes.
I don't know. Like, obviously, like, we're going to assume that the shooter is schizophrenic because he's got to be crazy to do what he did. But I don't know what makes Eminem a schizo here.
So
You know what I mean?
so
Is it
like-
because he's just, like, afraid?
well, it's because I
like,
think
paranoid?
it's like the obsessive stuff, you know what I mean? So he says staring at the service menu off a benzo, right? So he's high on
Yeah.
like Xanax or whatever, right? So we know from his catalog that he equates like him becoming like a monster, another person when he's on drugs and stuff and high, you know what I mean?
Okay.
So I think kind of that's how he ties it in with himself as, schizo, you know what I mean?
So, like, kind of more like a paranoid schizophrenia.
Yeah, so like you pointed out, this is all again, the whole song relates to Eminem before a show and the shooter, right? And then the whole fucking venue from my window. So literally, that's what the shooter had, and then I guess Eminem would be at the hotel before his show, you know what I mean, and he could see it. Because okay, so the continuation of that's when you know you're schizo leads right into, cause I keep peeking out the curtain from the hotel. The music is so loud, but it's almost as though I don't hear no sound. I should get ready for the show now. Wait, is this the whole crowd? I thought this shit was sold out.
So, yeah, it can go both ways. He's like, what? No one's here for me. But then also, like, what? Who am I going to shoot now?
This honestly, like, so this is a weird song. This is like a beautiful song, like brilliant. Do you know what I mean? The way it's put together.
Artistic?
Yes, but it's not a song like I listen to a lot. Do you know what I mean?
No, because it is. I mean,
It's
it is
sad,
sad.
but it's a brilliant artwork. But although Stan is like that, but I can listen to Stan.
Stan to me is not sad. I mean, like, it's more of like just Jesus. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is just like sad.
So yeah, it's dark, and I mean,
Yeah.
it goes perfect with
Well, because
the
it just makes you think of like the shooting. Like I remember like watching it on the news and like
yeah.
the people like posting the videos of like hearing the gunshots and people screaming.
Yeah, it's wild. So yeah, I mean, it's getting redundant. We're going to say this every time, but I do feel like it's interesting to point it out because we do know the story. But so like I keep peeking out the curtain from the hotel. So you're imagining Eminem like he has a show coming, and then the same thing the shooter's doing, and then so it's the music is so loud, but it's almost like I don't hear no sound. So he's in his head. Do you know what I mean? So it's loud, but he's not hearing anything because he's like singularly focused and in his own mind imagining what's going to happen. And then, like you said, wait, is this the whole crowd? I thought the shit was sold out. Eminem's like, fuck, there's no fans here. And then this guy is like, fuck, I thought there was going to be more people for me to shoot. But it's only the opening act. It's early. Don't overreact. Then something told me relax and just hope for the show to be packed. Same
More of
thing.
the same.
Yeah. Eminem wants it to be sold out. The shooter wants to have more victims. Don't want to hit the stage before they fill each row to the max, because that would be totally whack. You can't murder a show nobody's at.
More of the same again.
It's a crazy line. So again, like
Yeah.
at this point in the song, the first time you're hearing this, like maybe I feel like maybe when I heard this, I something in my mind by this point was like, hold on, murder a show, because that's a weird way to phrase it. Like, yeah, you could be like, oh, I killed it, I murdered it. But I maybe at this point in the song, you're like, hold on, there's something here.
So when
That
I first heard this song, I knew it from the beginning. I don't know if it's because you
you
made me
didn't.
watch the music video.
Oh, so you know what?
I did know it from the very beginning.
So not the very beginning, but yes,
Like before this part.
the music video does ruin it.
Yeah.
And there's a warning, I think,
Yes.
at the beginning
Yes.
or something. I forget. I haven't watched it
Because
in
it
a
has
while.
guns in it
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was very easy to figure out.
And you see the imagery. Yeah, he kind
Because
of
he's in a
ruined it.
hotel room with a gun and he says Las Vegas. I'm like, oh,
And it
it's one
wasn't-
of those songs where he's like singing about one thing, but it means something else.
And it wasn't that too long after the incident.
No.
So yeah, like you said, this is the same exact thing. You don't want to go to the stage. You don't want to perform to a not sold out show as a rapper, right? And
Yeah, like you don't want to get out there and then everyone like comes up. It's weird.
yeah, because that would be whack, and you can't murder a show nobody's at. So you can't do an awesome show if there's no fans in attendance, and you literally can't murder people if they're not.
Well, you can. There just wouldn't be anyone to really see it.
Yeah, so the show wouldn't be. You know what I mean? The show's like shit.
Guess.
Continues, but what if nobody shows? Panic mode. About to snap and go motherfucking wacko at any second. About to cancel the show just as fans below rush the entrance. Plan is to go wreck shit. Cameras in all directions. So he's in this mind state, same type of thing on the lines before, but he's like, oh fuck, maybe they're not going to show up. Maybe I can't go out and perform, and then maybe there's not going to be enough people there for me to shoot. You know what I mean? So it's interesting. About to snap and go wacko at any second. So that's like Eminem, but it's also telling what's about to happen.
Yeah,
With the
like it's
shooter.
Eminem. He's about to snap because there's potentially no one at his show, but the shooter's just about to snap because
He's
for
gonna-
no reason.
Yes.
Just because.
And then about to cancel the show just as fans rush the entrance. So it's like, oh, I
Yeah,
thought I was
like-
gonna have to cancel it, but then I don't have
Yeah.
to. And then plans to go wreck shit, cameras in all directions. So
There
again,
would be cameras at the concert,
And the-
cameras at his concert.
and like you were just talking about, the videos from the incident were released,
Yeah.
cell phones, everything. The press is about to go ape shit, bananas on all the networks, Commando with extra clips. I got ammo for all the hecklers. I'm armed to the teeth. Another Valium, fall off the bed, hit the ground and crawl to the dresser.
Do you remember when you realized what this song was about? Because I feel like this, you're just like,
So yeah,
Huh.
I don't remember exactly at what point, but I think, by this time, there was something in my head like, oh, I think this might be that. You know what I mean? Because he
Yeah.
switches. It's in the third verse. It's no more
no
double
more his
entendre.
concert.
Yeah, it's obvious at that point. So yeah, the press about to go ape shit. Obviously, the press is going crazy because of what happens, but then Bananas ties in with ape shit, right? And then Commando with extra clips. I got ammo for the hecklers. Again, so you could just think of this as Eminem. He does this a lot. Like my ammunition is my rhymes and my bars, right? And those are like he equates that to guns. It's like I spit, fire, bullets, ammo, and then ammo for the hecklers. So people that would boo. But heckler and Koch, it's another gun thing. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And then armed to the teeth, and then so he takes another Valium, falls off the bed, hits the ground, and crawls to the dresser. So
So he's just, but also like army crawling, so he can
Mm.
shoot.
yeah, so it's interesting. Like you just said this a few minutes ago. You're like, I don't know why Eminem necessarily thinks that guy's schizo, because in this verse at the very end, Eminem is like, he's like, the thing that's so scary is this guy didn't have any mental health history before.
He didn't.
Yeah, so it's like, did he go crazy, or is he
Or he's just
evil?
saying you're gonna go schizo, like just like saying like you're gonna go crazy.
Or is he evil? Do you know what I mean? Like I don't know. When we get to that third verse,
I don't know what's
we'll
more
talk about it.
frightening for that to be done by someone with a mental disorder or who's just evil.
I mean, as the person getting shot, it's irrelevant, but
Yeah.
it's
No, but I'm
scary
saying like
when there's
the
no
thought of
signs.
it. Yeah.
There's no sign. There's no way you could predict it. Whereas somebody that maybe did have a issue, you can kind of foresee it.
Oh yeah,
So-
but then there are people who have the same mental disorder and don't go and kill a crowd of people.
It's true.
So it's like what's there? Like what does that?
Yeah, I know. So he continues, alcohol in my breath as I reach for the scope. Okay.
Mouthwash or scope of your gun.
So yeah, so Eminem obviously he's like, oh, I gotta cover up the alcohol with scope. And then at this point in the video, I do remember the scene particularly.
He's like in the bathroom.
He reaches for the bottle, and as soon as he grabs it,
It
it turns into
a scope.
yeah, like a scope that you use for a gun. I'm blacking out. I'm all out of meds. With the benzodiazepines gone, now it's just magazines sprawled out on the floor. So it's interesting.
So it could be like just a magazine or like a gun magazine.
Yeah, and he's obviously fucked up on Xanax and shit.
Yeah.
All right. Fuck the media. I'm going all out. This is war. So, again, Eminem has issues with the media his whole career, and this guy, so it's interesting. He sounds like screw the media. So he goes from magazines to media, which is a type of media, and then, I guess the news, he has an issue with them.
Yeah.
All right. We're going to let the rest of this play out, and then we'll break it down.
I don't wanna be alone in the darkness anymore.
People start to show up. Time to start the show up. It's 10:05 p.m. and the curtain starts to go up. And I'm already sweating, but I'm locked and loaded for rapid fire spitting. For all the concert goers, scopes for sniper vision. Surprise from out of nowhere as I slide the clip in from inside the hotel, leaning out the window, going Kaiser Sosa, finger on the trigger. But I'm a licensed owner with no prior convictions, so lost the sky's the limit. So my supply's infinite, strapped like I'm a soldier. Got them hopping over walls and climbing fences. Some of them John Travolta, staying alive by inches. Cops are knocking, oh fuck. Thought I blocked the entrance. Guess showtime is over. No suicide note, just a note for target distance. But if you'd like to know the reason why I did this, you'll never find a motive. Truth is I have no idea. I am just this stumped, no signs of mental illness. Just trying to show you the reason why we're so fucked. Cause by the time it's over, we'll make the slightest difference.
I don't wanna be alone in the darkness. I don't wanna be alone in the darkness. I don't wanna be alone in the darkness anymore.
Yeah, we do have some breaking news from the Associated Press right now. Just gonna bring that up because we're hearing, we have told you that the shooter is dead, and we have just learned that police are saying that the Las Vegas shooter killed himself.
That is the bartender there at Mandalay Bay, and I believe we are going to hear more
Yeah,
from
we just
her.
wanted to share that with you. You can see behind me here, this is what he looks like. Now, we did just tell you that police, just earlier, Metro was telling us that he killed himself inside the hotel room.
Good morning. As we come to you on the air, we bring you breaking news, a school shooting. Another school shooting. Reports of a number of fatalities, and this time it is in Santa Fe, Texas. That is just outside Galveston. A suspect shooting out of Southern California. We are following breaking news this morning. Another deadly school shooting. This one in Santa Fe, Texas. That's just outside Houston.
26 killed and 20 others wounded. What is now the deadliest shooting in 5 people dead, and the attacker opening fire outside the church during a morning worship session. He unloaded a chaotic and they were making his way inside.
This, a deadly shooting at a food festival in Northern California. 3 people so far dead.
Breaking news.
15
A deadly
wounded.
shooting at a
gunman
newspaper
opened
office in
fire.
Annapolis. Newly released surveillance video shows the moments leading up to the mass shooting in Dayton, Ohio.
Okay. So obviously all the news clips at the end, which I have some thoughts about. Let's go through this real quick. All right. Third verse? I don't remember which verse this is. I think it's third. So Eminem comes in. He says, people start to show up. Time to start the show up. I like that. It's 10:05 p.m. and the curtain starts to go up. And I'm already sweating, but I'm locked and loaded for rapid fire spitting for all the concert goers. So straightforward, but again,
Well, rapid fire spinning, like rapping really fast, and then like his gun.
yeah, and he's sweating, locked and loaded, so he's prepared for the concert. And then obviously, I do like. I mean, I said it. People start to show up, tend to start to show up, start to go up. That's a cool little. Most of the song is mostly storytelling, but that's a cool little, rapidy rap shit he does there. Scopes for sniper vision. Surprise from out of nowhere. As I slide.
That's the first line that you can't. I think that's the first line that you can't translate.
Yeah.
Scopes for sniper vision. I don't think
Well,
there's anything
So
like here. You should really be like, huh? You know what I
so
mean?
I agree. But so even that, like Scopes, like Rap God, I mean like the Rap Devil and the Kill Shot MGK, the picture of it is MGK in a scope and he has a line, he got you in my scope,
Yeah, I guess.
But
But you probably really should be thinking about
yes,
something at this point.
especially as I slide the clip in from inside the
Yeah, that
hotel.
doesn't. There's nothing there either.
Yeah. Leaning out the window, going Kaiser Sose, finger on the trigger, but I'm a licensed owner. So
Again, this is no longer a double entendre.
yeah, it's the story of the shooter, Kaiser Sose. That's from Usual Suspects, character there. So, going crazy, finger on the trigger, but I'm a licensed owner. So his point, which is unique typically, that it's a legal firearm purchased by the person doing the shooting. Usually like they get their hands on it from somebody, you know what I mean? So this is it's a perfect storm, and it is like, what do you I don't know that there's anything that could be done about this type of shooting, whereas some of the other
No, but
ones.
this is an extremely, extremely rare type of situation. Most of the time, someone who goes on to just shoot a whole bunch of people like that would have like a prior, unless they're like a school shooter and they're like a child and it's their first time doing something like that. But usually, like adults don't just like however old he was, like what, 50, just decide, have no criminal history and just decide to shoot up a whole entire concert.
Yeah,
That's like a very rare thing to happen.
And there's a lot of conspiracies about it. We still don't know why. There's something weird with the guy that was getting interviewed, the security guard that got shot. He disappeared from the news, and then supposedly there was some Saudi Arabian people there that night or the day before. There was some weird stuff going on.
I mean, it could be related to that, but also there's another story where a college student who was a good person for most of his life, just went up to like, I believe it was like a tower, and he just shot. He was just like picking off like students
Oh, in
at his
Texas.
school. And then he wrote a letter, like pretty much like a suicide letter, like, please study my brain. And he had a giant tumor.
Yeah.
And like I don't remember what part of the brain it was, but I think it might have been his frontal lobe,
It's
one
the
of the portions
amygdala.
responsible.
For
His
reasoning,
amygdala?
I think it was.
Well, the frontal lobe is reasoning. His amygdala is like anger and emotion.
Yeah, I forget what
I
it
don't
was.
remember where it was, but it's in one of the places that makes sense that all of a sudden he just started shooting people.
Yeah. I forget. I remember that guy's name. I'm blanking on it. But yeah, so there are different scenarios for different shootings. This is and like Eminem even says in here, this is like a scary one because it's like there's nothing you could do.
Yeah.
So yes.
Which is also goes along with like everyone wanting to get rid of the ability to own a gun, but he would have just went out there with a knife. He would have made a homemade bomb. If people want to hurt people, they'll do it.
Yeah.
No matter what, no matter how. You can't stop them.
So, finger on the trigger, but I'm a licensed owner with no prior convictions. So, law says the sky's the limit. So, my supply's infinite. Strapped like I'm a soldier. Got 'em hopping over walls and climbing fences. Some of them John Travolta, staying alive by inches. So, his point here is that because he has no prior convictions, he could have as many guns as he wants. He has an infinite supply, strapped like he's a soldier. So
He had a lot
he
of
had a
guns
lot
with
of guns
him,
in the hotel, like a
which makes
lot.
me wonder how he got them. Like, I guess he just had a bunch of suitcases.
It's weird that they didn't release like more like security footage of
They
them.
released like
Some,
virtually nothing.
yes, and then it
You
goes,
literally see the video of them pounding on the door, and then all of a sudden they're like, "Oh, he killed himself."
yeah. So then he goes from that into what's actually happening with the shooting. Got them hopping over walls, climbing fences, so you could see that footage of people running once they realize what's happening, and then John Travolta staying alive, the movie, right? Um, and then again the "Hello Darkness, My Old Friend" sample. Cops are knocking. Oh fuck. Thought I blocked the entrance. Guess showtime is over. No suicide note, just a note for target distance. But if you like to know the reason why I did this, is that right? That lyric? So yeah, now he's back to him in the room, right? And the cops are knocking on the door, and he did do a barricade. And he's like,
Yeah.
"Oh fuck, I thought I did it. Just a note for target distance." Oh, okay. So I was like, wait, what's he referring to? So he says, guess showtime is over. No suicide note, just a note for target distance. So I have the lyrics on my phone like I normally do, and there's an annotation. It says leaked photos from the crime scene showed the room the shooter was in during the massacre. In one of the rooms, a handwritten note could be seen on the table. Many thought it was a suicide note explaining why I did it, but it was just a distance calculation to configure his guns beforehand. So it was how to adjust the scope, and it's like, oh, you're
So he
this
would
far
know what
away.
he need to do to make sure that if he was going to shoot someone that far away, that he would get it.
Yeah, I didn't even know that part of the story. It's interesting. Then he says, but if you'd like to know the reason why I did this, you'll never find a motive. Truth is, I have no idea. I am just as stumped. No signs of mental illness. Just trying to show you the reason why we're so fucked. Because by the time it's over, won't make the slightest difference.
So I believe the shooter had a reason,
Yeah, of
or
course.
he had a tumor in his brain, like that other guy, which is not a, they're never a good, there's no such thing as a good reason for doing what they do, but
It's an explanation.
yeah.
Um, yeah, so this is weird. I mean, Eminem. So I guess he's just going based on the news story because, again, as of today,
Well,
it's
yeah, we
so many
don't know
years.
why, because he killed himself.
But the FBI haven't even come out with like a motive. Like usually they'll do an investigation, and be
Well,
like,
yeah, because they
oh,
looked into his backgrounds. We were watching something years ago where they were like explaining like his life and everything, and like there's
he's
just
like selling property.
nothing.
Yeah, he was a
There's
gambler. He was
nothing.
like a professional gambler. So yeah, so Eminem's at least in the song taking the perspective that he doesn't know why he did it, which I don't think is true, but whatever, we get it that like, we don't know why he did it. Um and then it goes back into the chorus, right? And then we get news relating to this specific shooting that this whole song's about. Yeah, we do have some breaking news from the Associated Press right now. Just going to bring that up because we told you the shooter is dead, and we have just learned that the police are saying that the Las Vegas shooter killed himself. Um, that is the bartender there at Mandalay Bay, and I believe we're going to hear more from her. Yeah, we just wanted to share with you. You can see behind me here. This is what he looks like. Now, we just did tell you the police just earlier. Metro was telling us that he killed himself inside the hotel room.
So that was because he was going to the bar a lot.
Something I don't remember
Like I
exactly.
guess they like interacted. He interacted with her.
Yeah, so there's a lot of people more so more people every day are saying, like social scientists and stuff and FBI and crime profilers that say that like putting the pictures up and the names of these shooters are actually feeding into it because people are trying to copy and they want to get clout and they want to be famous. I'm going to do the last one. So it is a good thing to note. So like I know Eminem for Impact here is putting all of the new stuff here to show you the impact of, the news and all the other shootings. But I it's not just a personal opinion. There's like actual studies that, and like I said, police and FBI profilers that say this is actually feeding into the problem.
Well, everything like this feeds into the problem. Like watching like any serial killer documentary, like half of them glorify the serial killer. I have yet to watch one that's just the facts and not like, oh my God. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I don't
Like
know. I don't know if I consider those as part of the problem, but I get what you mean.
everything that even just says the person's name is part of the problem because there are people out there who are so sick and so desperate to make a name for themselves because they believe that life isn't worth living unless you make some sort of name for yourself and they're crazy and they'll
Yeah.
go and kill people if they can't make it any other way.
Yeah. So,
Or they just want, no, people are crazy.
of course, I mean, you're never gonna, I mean, like you were saying, you could get rid of all the guns. You can make them disappear overnight. Like they just don't exist anymore. People are still gonna kill the
There are multiple serial killers who did not use guns. Like, more often than not. Like, most of them use knives. Yeah.
So he continues with more news stories that we're hearing. Good morning. As we come to you on the air, we bring to you breaking news of a school shooting, crushing news, another school shooting, 11 people dead, reports of number of fatalities, this time in Santa Fe, Texas. Um, that is just outside Galveston, that no one saw coming, a mass shooting in Southern California, school, a suspect has been. We're following breaking news this morning, another deadly school
Just like
shooting,
all of the
Santa Fe,
recent
Texas, just outside
shootings, I
Houston,
think, right?
26 killed. So yes, at least 9 people have been killed. Somber words. 5 people dead. The attacker opening fire outside a church for morning worship session. He unloaded the chaotic terror, making its way inside. 5 people killed at the workplace shooting. Dozens of officers. And then this is a deadly shooting at a food festival in Northern California. 3 people dead so far. Breaking news: 15 wounded. Deadly shooting in a newspaper office in Annapolis. A gunman opened fire. Newly released surveillance video shows the moments leading up to mass shooting in Dayton, Ohio. Authorities say the shooter. All right, and then it just fades out. So it's a little. So for Eminem's purpose of alerting people about gun violence, that's why he grouped all these news stories together because the common denominator is shootings and people dying.
Yeah.
They have those stories have all different reasons and motives. Some of them are like disgruntled workers, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some of them are like school shooters, you know what I mean? Some of them are random acts of violence. So I mean, I guess you could group them all together for gun violence purposes, but they're different. You know what I mean? So again, unless like your plan is to make guns disappear, you got to understand the different reasons why people are doing them. And this Vegas one to this day is like, it's a weird one. It's the biggest mass shooting in American history, and we don't know anything about it. The school shootings are, in my opinion, they're like the biggest thing to worry about.
Yeah.
And so I don't think it's a coincidence that if you look up most mass shootings, and you got to get rid of, so they do shit with statistics. You'll hear stuff like, oh, there's been 200 mass shootings in 2023 already. A lot of them include gang violence, which if there's more than 4 people shot, it's considered a mass shooting, which fair enough. But when you hear the word mass shooting, you're not thinking about that.
Thinking school
Yeah,
shootings, malls, supermarkets, large congregations of people being shot for no reason.
Yeah, you're not.
With no link to the shooter.
Yeah, you're not thinking gang violence, but
or just any sort of violence where you're killing like 4 or 5 people that you know for one reason or another.
yes.
Different.
So a lot of the shootings do take place in gun-free zones, and there's a reason for that. It's because the shooters know that
No one's gonna have a gun to defend themselves.
yeah, and it's not a coincidence that the schools keep getting attacked over and over and over again. So again, you can have this idea of we just got to get rid of guns altogether. That there's already more guns than there are people in the United States. There's over 400 million guns.
If you get rid of guns, the only people who will turn over their guns are good people. Bad people aren't going to turn over their guns. So now, not only will you no longer have good people with guns, you will have
Only
bad people with guns and only bad people with guns. So if there's someone shooting up a school, no one's going to be able to do anything about it if they even had a chance to do anything about it in the first place. Like,
Especially
people hate this quote, but the only way to stop a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun. And that's true. There's no other way to stop that.
well, it's true. Even if you want to say the police, they take out shooters with guns.
They are good guys with guns.
But the point is, well, look at Houston though. What was that, Houston? The one a
Yeah,
few
it's
years
weird.
ago.
It's weird that shootings like that have happened in Texas when a lot of people can conceal carry, right?
Well, a lot of the schools don't allow it.
You can
But
conceal carry in Texas, right? Or is it open carry?
I don't know
I
exactly
don't
the laws.
like. We live in New York. I don't know gun laws. We don't have
But
open carry or concealed carry here.
so, but there, I don't know if you remember, they waited an hour and a half because they were, I don't know what, they were waiting orders. The cops showed up while the shooter was active
Oh,
there,
in the school, and they did
and they're like
nothing.
putting on hand sanitizer and they're waiting, and it's like, so okay, there's the cops aren't there, and not for nothing when it comes to like personal firearms for your home and stuff. When someone breaks into your house, you could call the cops. Even on a good day, they're going to be there in 5-10 minutes. That's not enough time. You know what I mean?
No, you
Like,
have to be able to defend yourself. And if that ever happened to my kid's school, I'd be there with my gun in 5 seconds.
and I don't know if you remember, but in that same Houston case, they were keeping parents from going inside. They literally unarmed. There was mothers trying to go into the school while the shooting was going on, and the cops stopped them and didn't go in and stop the shooter themselves.
I'm just going to
So
say, if I were in that situation, I'd be in jail today.
yeah, but so that's the thing. It's like, it's true. You only only somebody with a gun can stop somebody else with a gun. But so if you disarm the populace, you're like, oh, only the police should have them. But then you're in these scenarios, and then there's the people that are making arguments for saying citizens don't have the right to have guns. It's only for like military and police. They're the same people that are saying you can't trust the police because they're whatever racist, whatever it is.
Some police officers, not all of them, and not most of them,
No, of
a
course.
few are racist, just like there are racist people who live
and
in this
they're-
country who are here. Like, there's a small percentage of people who are truly, truly racist.
And
Like, there always will be. It's just the way it is, but not all cops are bad.
well, that's the least of it. You're more likely to get like corrupt cops. Do you know what I mean? Like, we're from New York. We hear stories we've known. You could Google it, that there was cops working with the mob, killing people for the mob. You know what I mean? So like,
as late
they're
as like the
corruptible.
80s, 90s.
90s, yeah.
Which,
So
if you're like a Gen Z, you're like, oh, that's so long ago. But like, it's only like 30 years ago.
yeah. So whatever. We're saying all this. That's my opinion.
Yeah,
on
we're like
gun
going on
issues.
like a tangent, but I don't know. It's
There's a cultural issue. So this is the thing.
it's
Guns.
a mental health issue.
Well, it
And no one's
obviously
doing
is.
anything to really target it. Like, everyone's always like, oh, we need to do something about the mental health. And it's like, what are we doing? We're just talking about it and then not doing anything about it.
Well, it's the thing. We've had numerous amounts of guns in the country forever, and in the 80s there wasn't school shootings like this, and we had way more guns,
No, like the
less
first
restrictions.
wasn't Columbine like one of the first ever?
So on that scale, there was like random acts prior, but like one-off events. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
There's a reason. There's something happened culturally, and I don't even know what you could equate it to, because there have been more restrictions on guns in a lot of states, and yet something happened as a society that people are doing that. You know what I mean? You could say it's, the media, the press, and then social media adds to it, but the guns themselves have been around forever, and this didn't used to happen. So it's like, what is going on as a culture, as a society, you know?
I mean,
And then there's a lot of
that's a whole nother conversation where you could talk about like how kids are being raised these days and they're not being raised to have a thick skin. So the second someone says something mean to them, they want to go to school and shoot that person instead of just shrugging off and being like, look, that's not me. Like, you could think what you want. That's not me, and I'm fine. You know what I mean?
Also, if you look into it, there seems to be a high correlation between the school shooters in particular and how many of them took psychiatric meds very close to the time they did the shooting, whether they were on them at the time or they just got off of them, something going on there. That's another thing. So
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a sad, it's, it's sad. It's a tragedy.
Multifactorial.
Nobody wants anybody to die. Nobody especially wants children to die.
No.
So it's offensive when you hear people saying like, oh, if you don't want to take away guns, you don't care about dead children, as if gun owners don't have kids in schools. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's a difference in policy opinion. And when crazy events happen, people are like, we have to do something, we have to act. Meanwhile, most of the time, if you're reacting on emotion and you're like, let's just restrict this, restrict that, 9 times out of 10, it's not good to make a decision when you're emotional, when you're mad. Also, those measures aren't going to stop anything most of the time,
No, I mean, me personally, I think there should be armed guards at all schools.
Me
I think
too.
there should be, oh God, what are those things called? Metal detectors that you have to walk through, and every single other entrance to the school should be unaccessible to the outside to anyone. Where I went to high school, none of that was a thing. Anyone and everyone could walk into my school
Yeah.
and just go into my school. Like, we would have friends from other schools come into our school whenever the hell they wanted to because no one said a word. And it's not like that anymore.
Yeah.
But our school district, they were like, there was like a vote or something to get rid of the metal detectors.
Yeah, that's insane.
Like, no,
Yeah,
that's not happening.
Yeah, I mean, somebody, I forget where I saw it. It was either like a meme or I heard somebody in a podcast say a while ago, they're like, we have armed guards at banks protecting our money, but none at the schools protecting our children. So
Yeah.
it shows you what we value as a society.
And then people get scared. They're like, oh, I don't want armed guards around my kids. It's like, they're not going to shoot your kids. Like,
Of course.
they're just there to protect them. They're not going to just accidentally shoot them. That's not going to happen.
Now, again, it shows as a society we value, like the politicians, they have armed guards. The celebrities, even the ones that are against people owning guns, they have armed guards.
It's just
But
expensive.
the children don't. Whatever. Okay. Darkness.
Complete tangent.
Darkness. So your thoughts on the song?
It's really, really good. All of the double entendres are very impressive. I wish Eminem didn't have to say double entendre in that one verse.
Never knew he said that. I never caught that. That's
God.
yeah. A lot of people hate that. A lot of his fans hate that. It drives them crazy.
It's kind of insulting, but there are some of his that have gone over my head, but like, I just want the opportunity to try to find it on my own. You know what I mean? It's like playing Where's Waldo, and then your friend over your shoulder just keeps pointing to Waldo on every single page, and you don't get a chance to like find him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a little like that.
Yeah, for sure. No, I agree. I think this is like brilliantly written song. It's very creative. What I was gonna say is that third verse and the news stories at the end. Not to say that he doesn't feel that way because I've heard Eminem in podcasts and stuff. He is like very anti-gun now. You know what I mean?
It's their opinion and their beliefs. This is just our opinion.
But
And that's his opinion.
what I'm saying is, so not to any way imply that he doesn't feel that way, because I happen to know that he does, but I think because he, in the first two verses, he embodied the shooter, he really felt that he had to make sure there was a PSA, which they did at the beginning and the end of the music video, and in the third verse, and with the news stories at the end, make sure to drive home. This is bad, gun violence is bad, and we're so fucked, and like I'm against this as much as you are. I felt, even though I do believe he feels that way, he felt he had to put that in the song to protect his ass from just going through two verses of embodying the shooter himself.
Probably. Just to like have a message out there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a great song. What he did here was really great.
Yeah, it's very creative. It's brilliant, especially in the later half of his career. It's like incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it was a pretty long tangent. This is a very long video now.
Yeah, we haven't done this long in a while.
But yeah, so definitely check out Carnivore Snacks, Chomps, SeatGeek, Amazon storefront, like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.
See you. Bye.
Bye.